What's good, everyone? We are back. It's the Night Cage here.
And the Plague Wind.
And we're actually here to discuss with you guys a more global campaign that we're getting ready to do at the local games workshop. I mentioned this to you guys before. And this campaign that we're going to be doing is going to include 14 armies.
Should be 14. It'll be pretty interesting.
So we're going to be doing a pretty big campaign. So what I'm going to do for the first part is, before introducing our two armies in more detail, I'm going to just introduce the background about this particular campaign, and then we're going to and then the Plague Wind is going to discuss the campaign rules that we've developed, that we're going to be utilizing for our campaign. And then in the end, we're going to explain our individual characters and give you more details. If you guys want to use the standard rubric that we're using to develop our campaigns, anybody want to do something like this, even if it's like, right out of your head, feel free to use our ideas. We don't mind. So here we go. So I'm going to get into it really quick. This campaign we are calling the Titus X campaign. We're fighting for a planet called Titus X.
Yep.
Now, it's something very special about Titus X. It has a pretty detailed history. It used to be a beautiful planet. It used to be a planet of lush jungles, mountains, and vast oceans. An absolutely gorgeous planet. And the Imperium showed up. Well, when the Imperium got there, the Imperium decided to use it as a base for operations for supplying its armies with munitions. And it actually was designed to supply the Titan legions. And these are, Titan legions of extreme proportions. The Adeptus Mechanicus had a secret. The Adeptus Mechanicus created a Titan that was a great secret on this planet. And this Titan has a special technology that was developed by the Adeptus Mechanicus before the Great Crusade. So as the Great Crusade got underway, this secret was kept even from the Space Marine Legions, even from the Primarchs. And that is this particular Titan cannon that this class of Imperial Titan had is called a solar cannon. And the solar cannon has the power to open black holes. The Imperium wanted to keep this great secret from everyone. Only the Imperium Senatorum knows about it. The Inquisition now knows about it. And the Adeptus Mechanicus knew about it at the time because they developed it. But the Emperor was very clear that this was not to be common knowledge. So he kept this great secret until one day the orcs stumbled onto this planet. Now, when the orcs arrived, as they always do, they start tearing things apart. And so the Imperium spends a lot of time trying to fight the orcs, including during the Great Crusades, having the Imperial Legions show up, destroying the orcs, and years later, hundreds of years later, another orc warband shows up. For some reason, they're active in this sector, and this sector is just plagued with orc activity. The planet gets lost, and the Imperium goes, well, it's not a big deal. Our technology is hundreds of miles below the surface of the planet. It's in a security. The orcs don't know about it. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of swept it under the table and let things go on. No problem. But something has changed. Recently, all of the turmoil in this sector, this planet is has been slowly drifting over the eons closer and closer to the Eye of Terror. And now the planet is in an area that has drawn the gaze of 2 Chaos Lords. The Chaos Lord that you see here, his name is...
his name is Titus, and he is going to be the main general for Nurgle, and the main general for Khorne will be...
The main general for Khorne, his name is Skyrak, and he's my demon prince, Skyrak the Slaughterer. And he also has a lieutenant. His lieutenant is Koselax the Forsworn, and Thantos' lieutenant.
And my Thantos lieutenant is Rubigus. And Rubigus, that actually, both those names, Thantos and Rubigus, are ancient names. Thantos means angel of death in Greek, and Rubigus is the Roman god of death and pestilence.
Okay.
So
the story about Skyrat is he is the Legion. He was the World Eaters Legion captain. He was one of the Legion captains. He is the one that is responsible for killing the Legion's chief librarians during the heresy, when the Horus Heresy broke out. This is the reason that the World Eaters no longer have any librarians. But he was elevated to demonhood after this act.
Nice. Nice. Really nice.
Okay, so this is the story. So there are a lot. Basically, this campaign is the Imperium on one side, and then Chaos and the Orcs and Necrons on the other side.
Yeah, it's all about us trying to beat them this time for once.
Yeah, we got to try to get a win somehow.
Oh, shoot.
All right, so.
Or it's let it down.
So that is the background of the planet. So campaign details.
So campaign details. Let's play win here. So again, we're talking about the Titus X campaign, and these are going to be some of the general points. So one of the first points is that each person will make 2,000 point lists. So the 2,000 point lists they make have to be completely separate from each other. It's possible they can have some similar units, but it needs to be diverse. You have 2 separate units. So one for their general and one for their lieutenant. The second main point is that there will be no draws in this game. There will either be wins or losses. And how a person will win will either be through objectives, through victory points, or amount of points killed. So there will be no ties. And if something happens, something of freak of nature that happens where there is a tie, we may even have something to where the generals will square off. And whoever wins that battle, that's how it's decided. But it shouldn't get to that point. Third main point is 2 experience points to be earned per battle. So there's only 3 ways you can earn experience points. So the first is the HQ survives the battle. That's one way. The second is HQ killing a unit. So what we mean by that is that your HQ, either your lieutenant or your general, must participate in a battle, either in a shooting or combat. So let's give you an example. Say your general is in the rear with a Havoc squad, and the Havoc squad shoots a unit and kills it. That's great for that Havoc squad, but the general gets absolutely nothing because the general did not shoot to kill. So he must be participating. He needs to either be actively involved in killing something, hand-to-hand, or by shooting something. And the third is that this is where you can actually gain 2 points at one time, is where your HQ is the main one who kills the other person's HQ. So, for example, your unit charges, your general wipes out a unit, and his participating unit that he's with kills the other person's HQ, you still only get 1 point. Your HQ must be the one who actually gives the killing blow to the other person's HQ to get 2 points. So to recap, you get experience points by surviving the battle, your HQ killing a unit. He can kill a unit by himself or be involved in killing that unit, or he's killing the other person's HQ. Then you can get experience points. What we're going to use experience points for is 4 experience points to purchase a skill upgrade. We'll use universal rules in that regard. So whatever's on the universal rules, you can purchase 1 skill upgrade from that. Or it costs of strategic points. If you go to Planet Strike on page 33, I believe it's 33 at the back of the book, you will see where you get the strategic points. And you can only have 2 per mission. You can use the points at your discretion. However, after every 2 battles, you must purchase a strategic or a skill upgrade. Basically in the rules of you either use it or you lose it. So We're not going to let you stack the decks. We're not going to let you just try to have something overpowering. We're going to make you fight the whole way through. The fifth point is victory only means territory. So the more victories you get, all you're doing is getting victories for either whatever side you're on, either Chaos' side or the Imperial side. And the last point we want to bring up is point number 6. 3 losses by an army. If your army loses 3 times, that army is eliminated from the campaign. So you basically have 6 times to lose. But if you lose 3 times with each individual army that you have, that army is eliminated.
Yep.
So I think we've made it enough to where, number one, it should be a little bit challenging, and it makes it to where no one can really stack the deck or so on.
Yeah, this is going to stop power gamers.
If you're a power gamer, you may not like this campaign. If you're thinking about I can overdo something or stack it, we got news for you. We're not going to let you do it. So if you either play, and if you don't want to play, that's fine. You don't have to. But to do for this campaign, to make it fair for everybody, we're going to make you play. Later on, we'll come to another time to actually what the terrain will do. Because you're going to be allowed to use whatever unit you want. If it's Forge World unit, you can use it. Except for like the big heavies, there's no special characters will be involved. You can use whatever you want. However, we'll dictate to you. We'll come in another video explain about that later.
Yeah, and the main thing here is this campaign is centered around each person that's playing. We got 14 different individuals that's participating, and that includes the Plague Win and myself that's participating. Each person is creating a general and a lieutenant. And we're going to use the Planetary Empire's map to place those armies. So your general and your general will have his own army of 2,000 points, and his lieutenant will have his army of 2,000 points. And that'll be like that for each person. Now, the whole idea in this particular campaign is to highlight the generals and the lieutenants. So this campaign is going to be centered around these individuals earning infamy or
them being heroic.
So we want to put the focus on the characters and try and keep the focus on the characters. So a lot of times I noticed this, and like I was explaining to Plague One a little while ago, a lot of times when we do campaigns and this kind of thing, a lot of people like to take their main characters, their HQ, and sit them on the back line and them not participate in the battle. And as far as we're concerned, I mean, some people might say that it's tactical. We think it's very cowardly. So in this campaign, we want to make sure that whatever that general or that lieutenant's skill is, if he is a shooter, he needs to do what he does. But the whole point is for the players to be engaging and the general to get involved on the battlefield. And this is how these guys are going to earn their experience. The only person in this campaign that can earn experience is the general and the lieutenant, and they both have to be actively participating in the battles, or they don't get any experience.
Absolutely. That sounds good. So that also, when he's saying that, as he said it before, you'll watch a lot of people saying, I'm going to use this tactic of staying in the rear, and I'm going to kind of just shoot you to death. You can shoot that army and even kill the army, and just doing that. And you can even win that way. But if you don't get any experience points, the other person gets experience points, you're giving away experience points to them. You'll probably give them lost. So it'll be kind of how you want to think of it. If you want to think, I just want to beat you and get you out and try to hurry up and get you off the table, that's fine. But we'll see if that helps you, if that strategy actually works for you. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. So for this campaign, we're being really strict with the rules. Especially for power gamers, we want to try to keep this campaign about the story. We want to keep it about the development of the characters. We want the characters to become even more characterful. We want them to develop a history over the course of this campaign for these individual characters, and that's a history that each individual person can document for their type of army. So the last thing, and we're not going to really get into this too much, but for this thing, for Titus X, today it is no longer a jungle world. It's a world